Hey everyone, how's it going? And welcome back to another Let's Play with author J.P.Edgar, where this guy plays some games he's never played before, and today we are starting a brand new journey of space-like proportions with Star Trek Resurgence, PS5. So, without wasting any more time, let's get going! Let's get going! Yeah, so many technical difficulties today. So many technical difficulties. It's been one thing after another trying to get this thing set up. How are you all doing today, chat? How are you doing? All right. All right. Man, I've been trying to get this game going for about a month, maybe 2 months now. Trying to get one thing after another done, trying to get this game going, but we're finally able, and I have no audio. Oh, it was quiet. That's why there's no audio. All right, looks like we're getting at least generation technology, not necessarily the Kirk and Spock generation. Everyone has certain like celebrity impersonations, like people are like Sean Connery. Everyone has a Connery impersonation. Mine is a Kirk impersonation, but it's not necessarily like James T. Kirk as you know him. It is an impression of an actor doing an impression of a person who played someone who doesn't even sound like that. But as soon as you do the impression, you know exactly who he's talking about. We gotta push start. So it's just one of those things. All right, let's see what choices. Oh, okay. So what kind of game is this? This has been one of those games that's been requested for quite a while now, and I have no idea. I have zero information on this game besides it being a Star Trek game. Spock, we've got to push play to get the stream going. You got to push play. Okay, let's do it. Empty slot, empty slot. All right. IIRC. Oh, I got a lot of chat. Holy criminy. Okay, hold on a minute. Picard over. Freaking nerds. Dick freaking nerds. No one talks about Picard versus Janeway versus Cisco. That's true. I do love me some Janeway, I'll admit. All right. You just left her because she thinks she thought, okay. Races out. Races out, arms to mommy, Janeway. Mommy, please. Tommy, Starfleet, mommy. Wait, begin. Yeah, let's do it. Especially when she mommies up to people, getting all stern and serious. Technical difficulties, no words. This is Jeremy Lab's adventure. Relationships. Oh, so, okay, that's not even part of the story. Policy with you can try to stop us from getting the truth, but I promise you, if you do, I'll respond with unique technologies. I'm like, oh, crime. Okay. Same time as the TNG movie era. Okay. That's not Kirk.
The crew is restless.
That's not Picard.
After spending too many months piecing our ship back together, finally about to venture out on a new mission.
It's basically a Telltale game. Oh, okay.
And the crew isn't letting this unprecedented ion storm slow them down. They're ready for something different.
They're ready for something different. We've got to.
Fortunately, nothing ever stays the same. It's entropy.
There we go. How's that?
The universe. Change is inevitable. And while entropy says order gives way to chaos, in this case, change is good.
Is that better? I turned it up.
Our new first officer is en route to the Resolute. Jara Rydek. I know she'll bring a welcome dose of new blood to the crew.
Pull up. Pull up. R2? Okay.
Thanks.
No problem.
I'm not great with flying. These little shuttles?
Oh, and I have time. I've seen worse. Don't close your eyes. And yet you joined. Yeah, why not? You joined
You
Starflight?
don't like flying. And yet, you joined Starflight.
I have to read these things, and I have a
There's a reason
timer.
I'm not
I'm in
invited.
trouble.
You should
The
try
hardest thing
somehow.
about this is going to be reading and deciding. Crew impacted by things you say. Okay, I don't know what that icon is. I guess I better be quiet and actually
I'm
listen.
a little anxious.
I hadn't noticed.
I'm on my way to my first assignment. When we get to the starbase, I'm transferring on to the Resolute.
So am I.
It won't be easy for Jara to step in at the 11th hour like this. But if she's half the officer I knew she could become when she was a cadet at Starfleet Academy, she'll be the XO this ship needs right now.
Alright. When I get a moment, let me do some settings. Turn up just a touch more. Change of station. Change of station. There we go. Sound is perfect. Use L to move. That's right. The new first officer is going to moonwalk to the bridge because moonwalk. First officer is going to get stuck on the wall to the bridge. All right, what's this? R2 interact.
A starbase on the very edge of Federation space. Long way from home now.
Is there a run button? Or am I stuck at snail speed? Made it. Welcome, welcome. All welcome.
Commander? I'm not usually such a nervous wreck, by the way. I actually did well at the Academy.
Oh yeah?
Maybe you've heard of the Torvalln Test?
Sounds familiar.
It's a tactical
Subtitle.
simulator that
Okay.
makes the Kobayashi Maru look like a picnic on Pintar's 5.
I'm going to push start. And your simulator braggings are going to be debunkled. All right, let's just get the subtitles going and resume.
Anyway, I finished in the top 20. Not just in my class. I mean, all time. In the history of the Academy. So,
Oh,
there's
only
that.
only in the top 20?
Only top 20, huh? So I guess there's room for improvement.
Well, it's really, really hard.
So I've heard.
Please place your hand here. Hold it there for a few seconds.
Scan the hand. Okay, got it.
Welcome, Commander Rydek.
Wait, you're Jara Rydek? You absolutely crushed the Torvalln Test. You finished in what, like the top 3?
That would be me.
Now I'm really... It's an honor to meet you, Commander. Sorry, I didn't realize before. I just came off the shuttle and was glad to be on solid ground.
All right, you know, I want to be one of
So to
those
speak.
reinforcing
The pleasure's
individuals.
mine. Ensign,
Paul Calloway.
good to meet you.
I believe Commander Ermont is expecting you. He's in the concourse just ahead.
See you on the Resolute.
Find Commander Ultron. You know, I'm very particular when it comes to the shape of my ships. And this ship kind of reminds me of the Reliance, and I wasn't a big fan of the Reliance.
Good day, Commander.
All the good day to you, citizen. Hello, fellow childrens. Have you seen the infamous clip from Next Generation where Picard has to kill a giant alien spider from the ground spy door? And they link all the replicators to make. And they link up all the replicators to make a giant rolled up newspaper. You know, that sounds legit. That sounds definitely like a legit episode. Picard runs to the planet with a 6-foot roll newspaper and poops a spider on the head.
So I'm looking for someone with blue skin.
Oh, someone with blue skin. Oh. Kirk would nail her regardless. Talk to lost crewman. Okay, let's do it.
Are you all right?
Yeah, I'm just... Well, I'm not sure where my departure dock is. The Resolute's gonna leave without me.
Look here. The Resolute is leaving from this dock.
Oh, you're right. Nerves must be getting to me.
That was kind of one of those, hey,
Thanks so much, Commander.
don't get lost. But there's no effing way that they're going to leave without their commander strolling around in super slow motion in granny gear, trying to look for a blue-skinned individual. Examine information.
128 has 4 docks.
4 docks. And okay. Oh, what's this? I'm hungry.
I'll replicate myself a meal once I'm on board.
You replicate yourself a face.
Excuse me. Have you seen a Bolian around here?
Yes, sir. Right back there, near the replicator.
Ma'am? Actually, that's Greenskin.
Ah, there he is. Thank you.
Happy to help, Commander.
You are not blue-skinned. You are not blue-skinned either.
Excuse me.
Yes. Move already!
You hear the Resolute's getting a new first officer?
Nope.
Someone from the crew got promoted?
No, get this. They're from a different ship.
Oh, talking trash. Yes, how does the... Oh, how
Crew
do
that
we-
bad.
Yeah, not a good look.
Not a good look at all. Not a good look. I need to find a slap button.
Welcome to the edge of the galaxy, Commander Rydek. I'm Commander Jan Ermot, Operations Officer on the Resolute. Commander? I hope there wasn't too much trouble getting here. This storm isn't making anything easy for us right now.
It was perfectly fine. No trouble at all.
I'm glad to hear it.
I'm wondering if half of these dialogue guesses, I'm just gonna click. I have no idea what's going on.
Vacancy at such short notice. From everything I've read and everything I've heard, we're lucky you were available to us. Coming from a premier starship and all. To our little research vessel.
I'll do my best to live up to expectations.
Humble,
I'm sure you'll do just
kind,
fine.
leader.
And if I can help in any way, just let me know.
Do I got quarters assigned? Let me show you how I got first officer.
The USS Resolute. She may not look like much compared to the bigger ships, but as far as science vessels go, she can more than hold her own. And she doesn't look so bad considering 6 months ago she was nearly cracked in half, venting plasma, fighting for her life.
It was an accident?
The equipment malfunctioned. An accident suggests fault, but no one's to blame. It was a planned test, but the warp core was pushed beyond its limits. It destabilized the dilithium, there was a runaway reaction, and the warp bubble deformed. We thought we could reach a higher resonant frequency, but it was more than she could handle. Cost
The
us our
vein
first
on the side of the
officer
head.
and 22 of our crew. At the end of the day, we're all responsible for each other.
I can't even begin to imagine what that must have been like for you. I'm so sorry.
He is Boolean, actually. Here's what I want to do. I want to actually turn the music down just a touch. Because for whatever reason, when I say touch, I say about half. Because for whatever reason, they love to have the music
It
higher
does
than the
weigh
actual.
heavy. There are some things you can't forget.
It's been 6 months. What's the attitude among the crew now?
Yes, I mean,
unsettled.
gotta get
But
back
I
to it.
hope that a new mission will help them move forward. If not, move on. Listen, I realize you've known Captain Solano for quite some time, and I'm glad you're ready to bring your best. But I should warn you that when the captain announced you would be the new first officer, there were those who felt it was a mistake, that he should have promoted from within. So you might want to tread lightly at first. Until they come to value your contributions as much as he does.
Yeah, whatever.
Thank you. Always good to have a sense for what you're walking into.
I
Don't be a
just thought
jerk,
you ought
right?
to know.
I appreciate it.
Starfleet has assigned us a high-priority mission to the Hotari region. I'll let the captain brief you on board. I know he's eager to see you.
Will we be mission ready in time?
We have every intention.
The crew has been working around the clock to get the ship ready. There's still so much to do.
So much to do. Maybe add some more polygons to the LS? Okay. Oh, hello. You are from the box, right? No, yeah, kind of from the box. Stuck.
Stuck.
That's not what you sound like. You're stuck.
Just the thing.
Find the plasma torch. Oh, I gotta get that sensitivity up. Give me 1 second. Yeah, let's see if I can get that sensitivity. Blurriness, camera sensitivity, aim sensitivity. Turn it up.
Hyperspan
is-
does almost everything.
That is not up. That is anywhere. Like, come on. Uppies. Uppies.
Except what I need right now.
This is not uppies. That's the. Oh my gosh. Is that as fast as it goes? Let's see. I'm gonna turn the wool down. See if. All right. I'll give you a clue on what changed. Nothing. Dialogue special. Yeah, that's it. I'm gonna have to make do with it. What is this? Interphallic coil spanner. No, that's not what it was. Plasma torch. R2. Clear corrosion. Get good. Pick the space hammer. I shall. Space hammer will work better in the slow right stick movements. Clean as a whistle. Got this one from Walmart. I'll give you a clue. This one's gonna break. It has to break. Okay.
Is that?
Is that? Good few whacks and the corrosion isn't good as gone. Yeah, the lower decks. I never quite understood why they have like people just.
Thing was totally fried.
Oh, you're from Star Wars, aren't you? Rose, right?
Nice work, Carter.
Nothing to it, Millie.
Lily.
And not a moment too soon. The boss wants us down in engineering. Like, now.
Like, totally. Follow them to engineering. Okay. I don't know. Use. I'm moving on the run. Yes, yes. Probe. Go, go, go. Am I following you still? Can you? Nelly needs to push L3. L3, Nelly. Push down on the left thumb. You can do it. It just gave me a pop-up to do it. You can do it too. Space torture face. Most things are gone with a good whack.
I heard the new XO just arrived. Won't be long before we get underway. I just hope whatever Chovok called us down for, it's something good. I can never tell
Chovok.
with him. I'd rather not end up degaussing plasma manifolds. Hanging upside down makes me queasy.
Orders are orders, Nelly.
I try to
They
run.
say there are no small missions.
Every exposition has a
Even if we don't know what it
purpose.
is yet. Looks like we got here before.
Lieutenant Commander Chovak.
Chodok.
We were just looking for you, Commander.
Oh, of
Petty
course.
Officers Ed Solar, Diaz. I was beginning to think you would be late. We are all hands on deck right now, which means if you are not at your post at the appointed time, I do not have someone to replace you. A point I have been forced to make to Petty Officer Edsolar on repeated occasions.
Sassy.
Commander
He's
Chovak,
gonna be the
isn't it
sassy.
true that if we were almost late, it categorically means that we were not late?
That is correct, Mr. Diaz.
I mean, if anything, Ed Solar and I are following the schedule to the letter.
Sound.
Yes, perhaps I should adjust the schedule accordingly.
So, I don't suppose you wanted us down here to check in before we go off duty?
Here's your money.
Equip yourselves in EV suits to work on the exterior of the hull. I need you to tune the structural integrity field for optimal performance. The subspace distortions and ionic interference we are experiencing are preventing the proper calibration. But this ship must be ready to depart shortly, despite the storm. The precise nature of these disturbances are not fully understood. But many systems have been affected by the wide band of emissive activity.
Whatever it throws at us, we'll be ready. We've got the best chief engineer in the fleet.
I am a Vulcan, Mr. Diaz. Flattery is not necessary. All that I require is that you
Got a
do
little
your
burn on
job.
the nose.
Right now, that entails critical preparations, because long-range sensors show that these disturbances will be more severe at our destination, the Hotari system. You have your
Hotari?
orders. Do not delay.
You're the one that's delaying us.
All hands on deck.
Oh, what's that?
All hands on deck. That's what Chovak said. You know what that means? It means this ship isn't ready to go out and the brass know it. So they're throwing every warm body at it. And they're going to leave on schedule. Consequences be damned.
It all comes down to us, Nelly. We're the ones who will get it ready.
Send sword.
Can do. But this isn't just any old refit or any old relaunch.
Excuse me.
Excuse me? Don't you see the freckles on my face?
It's gotta be tough coming as a replacement.
Oh.
That's for sure.
We've been through a whole hell of a lot as a crew. They're gonna have to prove themselves before they're really one of us.
Yeah, you're right. Anyone could look serious in a clean uniform. Show me what you can do when everything's falling apart.
Ever so brief pause, you saw everyone up on the Z-axis and fall on the floor.
You weren't gonna leave without me, were you?
Miranda.
Well,
We thought you were staying on the Adirondack.
sexual harassment.
And figured I'd slum it on this bucket of bolts. Looks like you got her back together pretty nicely. I wasn't sure what to expect.
I'm gonna take the high road here, pretend you didn't say that, and welcome you aboard.
I'm not going to say anything regarding the trio here.
I am.
He still owes me a bottle of Saurian brandy. Don't think I forgot.
Oh yeah, it's coming back to me now.
Maybe Carter can rustle up that bottle and we can give you a proper welcome. As soon as we wrap up this quick little spacewalk.
Are there grays in Star Trek? You know, there's like 51 aliens with big black buggy eyes, skin bodies, and pot bellies. Yeah, at least 51.
Rotation? Yep. Still running with the usual suspects.
All bipedal shape. Whoa.
Good to go. See you on the other side.
Left the sheets.
Activating magnetic souls.
Magnetic boots. All right, we're talking about Star Trek. I don't think I've seen all of them, so bear with me on these series of questions. In terms of the original series, with Captain Kirk, all the way up to Generations, what is your favorite Kirk movie? That's right, I went there. What is your favorite Captain Kirk Star Trek movie?
Let's go.
Don't worry, I'll ask Picard here presently, but I'm just kind of curious. The ass is voiced by Josh Keaton, who was Peter Parker in the Spectacular Spider-Man cartoon. Oh, okay. At the con, yeah. All hands.
Captain Solano should be here momentarily.
You're going to go with...
You'll have to forgive me, I don't know much about Kobleods. But my understanding is you need a steady supply of duridium to keep your cell structure stabilized, or bad things start to happen. And we have plenty of duridium in sickbay, so there's no risk of running out.
Thank you.
Feel free to make yourself at home. And help yourself to whatever you like from the replicator.
Remind me which one the undiscovered country is. Because I kind of get them kind of confused. Examine the model train.
He's still got a thing for trains. The warp engines of their day, apparently.
Examine window. It is very windowy.
We'll be out there soon. Going where no one has gone before.
Khan definitely has the bromance and the better villain. But I like Undiscovered Country because it's so dark and political, and you get to see the darker side of Kirk that doesn't show up often. Okay.
I can't believe he keeps this around. Don't even know where mine is.
The Globe. Spin it, spin it, spin it, spin it, spin it.
Can't wait to plot a course myself.
Plot a course to the bathroom. You've been flying all day. You haven't, you know what, never mind. So one where the Klingon power plant blows up and the Federation has to decide whether or not they want a broker peace between them. It essentially is the Berlin Wall falling. Actually, that's the movie I was thinking about. And
Just a sip of something.
A sip of tea, Earl Grey hot. I don't even know what the first one is. I'm just gonna go with tea.
Tea.
Well, that was a cheap cutaway there. You're not even working in a real life, you had to do a cheap cutaway?
That's lovely.
Really? The entire thing was full still.
Jara Rydek.
Get me, Spider-Man!
It was graduation from the academy. You'd already secured one of the most prestigious assignments possible. And you were burning with enough ambition to fuel 7 trips around the Necrid Expanse.
It's good to see you again, Captain.
I could not be happier to have you on the Resolute. My only regret is that we couldn't provide you with a warmer welcome. The arrival of a first officer to her new ship deserves a bit of fanfare. But, unfortunately, we've had our hands full with the refit.
It was hot, apparently.
Totally unnecessary. I don't need any pomp and circumstance.
You've been here all of 5 minutes, and already you're trying to make us more efficient. I like it. As I'm sure you've heard, we've had a rough go of it these last 6 months. The ship suffered some damage, but not nearly as much as the crew.
I heard that you had an equipment malfunction.
Is that what they're calling it? No, that's just someone being generous. If anything, it was a leadership malfunction.
Not enough points
We
in
were on the
leadership.
verge of a major scientific breakthrough. A quantum leap forward in warp core technology. 10,000 teradynes per second.
And one of them will be the leap home.
At a sustained rate of speed longer and faster than we ever dreamed. What would have been the crowning achievement of my career? Right there. Within our grasp. Until it all went so horribly wrong. We pushed her too hard, and a warp core malfunction overloaded the system, creating a pressure gradient way beyond what the ship can handle. It was heartbreaking. We lost some of our best people. As captain, I have to take full responsibility. It was my decision to make, and I have to live with the consequences.
We all know the risks when we sign up.
Yeah, that's
there are no
true.
guarantees. As much as we tell ourselves otherwise.
True. But as captain, my job is to mitigate and manage the risks as much as possible. And that's where I failed. In my defense, I will say, I might have avoided the whole ordeal if my senior staff had been willing to trust me. There was a lot of pushback from my former XO. And I think that cost me his confidence. I don't want you to pull any punches. Certainly not on my account. But once we decide on a course of action,
Make up
I
your
need
mind.
everyone
You're
to
ping
fully
ponging.
commit to the mission. Anything short of that just won't work. And that's when things start to go sideways.
Yeah, chain of command.
This is your ship, and you are the captain. So as far as I'm concerned, whatever you say, goes.
That's the kind of support I'm looking for. Look, I'll be blunt.
Emily Blunt.
We can't afford another mistake. Or at least I can't. I feel like my career is hanging in the balance here.
Man, Emily's in trouble.
We need a win. Something to restore the crew's confidence.
I understand.
He needs pictures of Spider-Man.
On a more positive note, Starfleet has tasked us with what they're calling a mission of the highest priority. Escorting a senior diplomat to Hotari space. Two previously peaceful and otherwise non-aggressive civilizations now find themselves on the brink of all-out war.
So it's a peacekeeping mission.
For a science
I see
ship.
it as a golden opportunity to not only prove what the Resolute and her crew are truly capable of, but also a mission for which we're uniquely qualified.
Why?
This ionic storm. Our long-range sensors suggest it's several orders of magnitude stronger than anything on record. A total anomaly like nothing we've seen before. And you'll never guess where it leads.
Hotari.
Exactly. Very nearly in the precise location where we're headed. Where I imagine the interference will be exponentially greater. But the diplomat will brief us on the details of the rendezvous.
But are we prepared to embark on the mission?
As much as I'd like to think that's true, I have my doubts. But I don't want to get ahead of myself. I expect we'll have some rough sledding when we arrive, so I need you to prepare the crew for the worst. There's just one more thing I want to clarify up front. The metric that for me will be the ultimate measure of your success.
What is it?
If after serving as my first officer, you don't one day find yourself with a ship of your own, then I will consider it my personal failure. When that might happen is entirely up to you. But it goes without saying.
Yeah.
You have my full support.
It's been a dream of mine since before I can remember. So I would be honored to become a captain someday.
As long as you're willing to do the work, you have my promise. I'll do everything in my power to see that it happens.
Thank you.
Come. Let me introduce you to the crew.
He does look like Jameson. Actually, I'd love to see J.K. Simmons in a Star Trek role. Get me warp power! I want pictures of Spider-Man's little piggies. I want them now, Parker! The run button. It doesn't run! That button's a lie. Tiny bridge is tiny. The Enterprise bridge is bigger. And that's a TV set.
Everyone, if I could have your attention for a moment. I'd like to introduce Commander Jara Rydek, our new first officer. Some quick introductions. This is Lieutenant Handar, our helmsman, one of the best in the business.
One of?
Well, what he lacks in humility, he more than makes up for in ability.
A pleasure to meet you, Commander.
Likewise.
Next, we have Commander Westbrook, our chief science officer. I've come to rely on his expert counsel on a regular basis.
Pleasure.
Except when it counts.
Commander Rydek, it is such an honor to meet you.
I'm not finished introducing everybody.
Officer, Lieutenant Bedrosian, who's been looking forward to meeting you for about as long as I can remember.
I've been following your career for quite some time.
Scissor, scissor, scissor,
and I
sister.
look forward to learning as much as I can from you.
That's very kind of you to say. I'm happy to be here.
Well, I have to admit, one of the reasons I've followed your career is because you're part Kobliad, because of what you've overcome. Starfleet stands up for people who can't defend themselves, and you were one of those people once. But since then, you've done so much to protect others who need it. I really admire that. So, you've been something of an inspiration to me. Not that I've done anything close to what you've done, but you definitely set a standard to strive for.
I don't know what to say. That's incredibly flattering, thank you.
I hope someday I can follow in your footsteps.
She's a villain.
And then, of course, you've already met Commander Ermont. Please, do everything you can to make Commander Rydek feel at home here. I'll be on the starbase. Have an urgent meeting with the starbase commander to get our authorization to get underway. If they drag their feet any longer, we won't make our rendezvous. The bridge is yours.
Parker's in the bathroom taking pics of his feet right now. Parker definitely has an OnlyFans. I make one foot fetish joke and you two are like sharks. To blood. Nice. What you doing?
Operations. Staffing, supplies. There's a lot to keep track of on a starship. Good thing we have Commander Ermont.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that if you watch him, he acts busy. But as soon as you walk away, he just goes in the corner and talks to everybody. Look at that. He's not doing anything.
The helm. The Resolute is a refitted Centaur class, meaning it's capable of quick maneuvers. Can't wait to see what she can do.
That won't come in handy at all, will it? I'm sorry, who are you? You are so, like, not important. I don't even see what your controls are. Did you even get introduced?
Science station. The Resolute is a science vessel, primarily. Might explain Commander Westbrook's attitude. I'll have to speak with him later.
Shadowheart? It's all the bangs. I hate Shadowheart's bangs. I think the bangs completely destroys her character. That's how much I hate him.
So many decks.
So little time.
That are now my responsibility. Communications. Keeps us in contact internally and with other vessels.
I'm sorry, what was I supposed to do? I guess I was sidetracked from, like, knocking on things. I kind of forgot what I was going to do. Okay. Oh, hold on a minute. What was that? Tactical Holo.
Tactical Holo Dais. Just like they've got on the Excelsior.
Excelsior!
The first officer seat. My seat.
With no back
Now,
support.
though, I need to fill in for Captain Solano.
They know it's the first officer seat because there's, like, no headrest. Nobody has a headrest. First thing I want to do when I'm captain, get you all better seats. We shall have chairs for all.
Commander,
Chief Engineer Chovak needs to lower the structural integrity
Chovak.
field. He's sent a crew out to recalibrate the emitters in response to the danger posed by the storm. We just need your go-ahead.
All right, I guess that's all I gotta do. Man, you're not lying. This is like a Telltale game.
Permission granted.
Lowering structural integrity field.
Make it show.
Now.
Entering maintenance mode. Condition blue.
The storm is getting worse.
All right,
Looks like
I
it's
asked
about
before.
safe.
Now,
Let's get to that
best
emitter.
Picard movie.
Every time we're out here, I half expect to see her in pieces again.
She's still got some scars on her. It adds character.
When I joined Starfleet, all I wanted was a ride out of town. But this isn't exactly how I pictured it.
On the outside of the ship?
No. Sometimes it feels like we're just part of the machinery. Don't you want more than that? I mean, Starfleet is noble and all, but it's still a machine. A massive, massive machine.
Now, what are you complaining about? We got the best seat in the house out here. You wanted to get away. I enlisted because I didn't want to wait years just to get out and see the galaxy. I wanted to go somewhere.
R tells you have failed.
Look up at a sky no one's ever seen before. Just because I'm cranking a hyperspanner up in a Jeffries tube today doesn't mean that's all I'll ever be.
Soon I'll be tuning up engines of my own.
Diaz to Commander Chovak. We are at the SIF emitter.
Acknowledged. You may proceed with the recalibration.
Ah, it's quicker. Calibration tool. Nada, 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 nada. First contact, no question.
Recalibration.
Justify it. Tune nodes to center of circular indicators. Oh. Oh, I can hold it. Oh. I didn't know I can hold it. I thought that was it. I'm like, wow, that's kind of silly.
Looks good. That wasn't so hard.
Commander Westbrook, right? Chief Science Officer.
You remembered my name and my rank. Impressive.
That's a chin.
Yes, I am the Chief Science Officer, and I have the dubious honor of being the most senior officer on this bridge. I know this ship inside and out. Better than just about anyone.
What a very impressive list of credentials.
This is a research and discovery ship, first and foremost. Now with a former tactical officer as its new first officer. I'm curious, though. A Kobliad, or half in your case, is an odd choice for first officer, given your vulnerable condition and all. But if, as an example, we found ourselves in a hostile situation, and you were suddenly incapacitated because you needed an infusion, what would happen then? You'd leave Captain Solano without an XO. Granted, that would be a worst-case scenario, but not outside the realm of possibility.
That's very kind of you to be concerned about my well-being. But you don't need to trouble yourself on my account. I'll be fine.
Well, I wouldn't say I was concerned, just curious, that's all. Listen, can I be blunt, Commander?
I see no reason to stop now.
Your predecessor was one of the best first officers in all of Starfleet. His record was impeccable and his reputation was without equal. I mean no disrespect, but the shoes you're stepping into are almost impossible to fill. He was
Looks
loved
like your
by
size of your chin.
and he was one of my closest friends. So I can only hope that you'll live up to expectations.
Hey, we just met. You might like me after you get to know me.
They say familiarity breeds contempt, but who knows? Seeing as Captain Solano is on the starbase, let me give you an update on this ion storm we're flying into. It's unusual, unlike anything I've ever seen. At the moment, I can't tell you if the Resolute will shrug it off or if we're putting ourselves at risk. However, if we learn more about its patterns,
red
its
button.
nature, we can come up with a scientific countermeasure. Just a moment.
That's a lot of red!
We've got a massive energy wave inbound. On screen.
Tracing its trajectory.
Starbase docking clamps are holding.
The storm's emissions are fluctuating, coming in waves. And if my projections are right, we're about to get hit by a wide-band burst of ionic energy, like a tsunami.
I'm reading power abnormalities.
Red alert.
Aye.
Oh, I guess I should have actually waited. I should have waited.
Evacuating main gangway and retracting.
Putting sensor visualization on screen.
I should have waited.
With the structural integrity field shut down, we can't take a direct hit.
Time to impact. 1 minute.
Shield systems are severely impacted. We have limited protection.
I need every available solution. What are our options?
We can weaken the impact of the storm with a deflector pulse.
There's a better way.
I'm sending all auxiliary power to the deflector dish.
Send the aux power to the shields. We can't reactivate the entire shield bubble, but it's a directional threat. So we can orient all we have towards the wave. You have to believe me.
We only get one shot at this. We can't afford to get it wrong.
That's right, which is why we need to send power to our
Eh,
shields.
we'll give it to the guy.
Use the deflector dish.
Already working on it. Optimal timing displayed. It's going to be tight.
Good. Send the pulse on my command.
What's the range? Oh.
Now.
I didn't know what I was looking for.
We got it.
This is it.
All hands, brace for impact.
Really? You just started now? Man, it almost seems like the starbase and everything and everyone else did absolutely nothing to mitigate the situation. Stop blowing holes in my ship.
We have experienced a surge of radiation.
Oh, you don't say.
This radiation supercharged the plasma, forcing it to backflush through the system and creating a dangerous imbalance.
That can blow out every primary system on the ship.
Just tell us where you need us.
I need you to traverse the hull to the access port to recalibrate the port nacelle plasma regulator.
Alright, I got some chat to catch up on. It has the best balance between Hollywood sci-fi action and Trekkie drama, huh? Okay.
Understood. Do you see the override for the level 1 failsafe circuits?
Affirmative.
Engage the override. It should allow us to
Engage
stop
the
the EPS
override.
warp engine without triggering an automatic core shutdown.
Failsafe override engaged.
Are you sure? I am registering some crosstalk in the bypass circuit.
We need to route the signals so they don't interfere with each other.
This looks like a very inconvenient design of a ship. All right. In order to do anything, we're going to have to send you out there and swap some ships around.
Diaz to Resolute. The failsafes are temporarily disabled. Moving on to the EPS regulator.
Heads up, Carter.
What is that?
What if the discharge is coalesced?
It's coming right toward us. I'm gonna try to disrupt it with my phaser.
Thin nerd. Oh, where's... I don't have a reticle or anything? Holster. Oh, there we go.
So we gotta climb up the pylon. Not that there's really an up, but, you know.
Relative up. Picard having to deal with this trauma from experience with being the Borg, the rest of the crew showing which means to be great. Man, yeah, okay. That's racist. Plus he gets Borg Queen, one of the best Trek villains ever. Alice Kerr, great. Yeah, agreed. Red alert. Imagine someone... Oh, I wasn't even paying attention. I'm trying to read chat. I'm just walking into Doom. Don't you have a phaser, little Miss Missy? That's what phasers sound like to me. Yeah, you do. Ah! I guess I got something spawned to my left.
Most of it. Snuck up on me.
That damaged your suit. Energy damping is down to 60%. We're almost to the regulator.
I gotta stop around.
That hurt.
Do not get hit again.
You don't get hit again. Then cover me, lady.
We're at the regulator point. Opening the access panel.
I am now halting the EPS flow to the port nacelle. We have little time before it causes an overload in the engine. You must work efficiently.
EPS manifold adjusters reset to neutral.
All right. What do I need to do? Looks like I need to get those waves lined up. Okay. Took a bit to figure out what I needed to do, but that's it.
EPS lines to the port warp engine
I
are
guess
back in
that's
balance.
it.
Almost done. Once I cycle the manifold nozzles, Chobot can...
Don't know why you didn't detach sooner.
Get down!
Get down!
Diaz to bridge. We just lost the docking clamp. We've got a lot of debris coming down. All vibrations, too. We can't finish the EPS regulation in these conditions. Please advise.
We have to release the ship from that other docking clamp or the hull will be ripped apart.
There's a problem. The clamps are supposed to disengage automatically in an emergency, but it's not working.
Not working? What are our options?
The docking clamps are fitted with exploding bolts for an emergency release.
We've got crew out there. That'd be like setting off a bomb next to them.
Maybe there's another way.
Starbase is hailing us.
Put him through.
Resolute, the remaining mooring arm is failing. You need to disengage from the starbase now. The damage to the station will be catastrophic.
All right, Starbase, we're on it.
Acknowledged.
Commander, hear me out. Reverse the polarity of the hull, which theoretically will repel the docking clamps.
And repel the engineering crew right off the hull into the storm.
This is Captain Solano. Put me on screen.
Go ahead. Captain, we have a situation.
Commander, what are you doing? Blow the bolts on the docking clamp.
The captain doesn't know the whole story.
I'm giving you an order. Jara?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Disengaging the clamps.
No the horse door or not, it's an order.
With debris out there.
The captain made himself quite clear.
Reverse the polarity.
There is protocol.
And there are lives.
Starbase, stand by. We're gonna flip hull polarity to disengage the clamps.
Yes, Commander.
What? You just said you disengage the clamps.
Oh, they'll be disengaged.
I have to do this. Repair crew, this is Acting Captain Jara Rydek. Be advised, we are going to reverse hull polarity to free us from the remaining docking clamp. Tether yourself and deactivate your boots on my mark.
Understood.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Mark.
this controls.
Grab my hand. I got you.
Thank you.
Plasma imbalance is reaching critical condition. We are moments from primary system failure.
I got it.
I'm so far behind on chat. Just give me a few, okay? Oh. Thank you. You're finally being helpful.
Look out!
Oh.
I got you.
KO.
Officer Edselar's hurt and unconscious. I'm gonna have to tow her back to the airlock.
Mr. Diaz, the situation has changed. You are at risk of triggering a substantial electromagnetic arc if you approach the main hull the way you came.
But Commander, the way we came is the nearest airlock.
There is an auxiliary hatch near you on the far end of the pylon. You must bring Miss Edselar there to access the interior.
Roger that. Go in there now.
Alright, I'll get the chat here shortly. Just give me a few. I'm behind. When there's a lull, I'll get back to chat.
auxiliary hatch.
I thought she just stabbed him. She heckin' shanked him.
Let me save your life this time. No time to fight me on this. Get in there.
You better be right behind me.
No time to argue. Just get the heck in there, right? Why did you even open it like that in the first place?
We're in.
They're safe. Bringing the SIF fully online.
Do it.
All right, we got a minute. We might have a minute. Give me a minute to see if I have a minute. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm actually gonna pause it for a moment, catch up on chat because this is like a newest chapter. Imagine someone on a regular ship saying that about a tsunami. Yeah, just fill it full of lead and it'll go away. The shield would have been better. You guys could have killed the odds. I was thinking about the shield, but it's not just the ship itself. This was my train of thought. It wasn't just the ship itself; it was everyone around it, and that's why I decided to go with the shooting lead at the tsunami. Americans be like, it's the name of the game. Got to deal with the consequences of your choices. Just why I like these games. Should give this a play after. That's up to her. All kind of clusters of ion radiation. A bit of morning mist. Radiation. So tasty. Guns don't work unless you make the pew pew sounds. That you are correct. You have to make all the wave lines up. Yeah. There you go. God damn it. Yeah, people are not going to be living much longer. How dare you? Almost like you're playing a game with timed events you can't pay constant attention to us. I know. Sorry. You're going to have the thing situation with radiation. You know, that is possible. We might just have the incredible bulk coming in and...
I'm okay.
Well, I thought she took off a spacesuit that quick.
Here, let me help you.
Oh, toasty!
Medical. We've got one wounded at my location. Millie.
Oh, man.
Well, that was quick. That was real quick. Aye, the black spot. It's usually on the palm, but this time on the face.
Status report.
The repair crew made it inside. EPS flow is back to nominal levels. The SIF is back up.
How does this affect mission readiness, Mr. Ermont?
Releasing the docking clamps using hull polarity minimized damage to the Resolute. We'll have some last-minute repairs to make, but if we reapportion some of the staff, we can make our departure on time. As of now, however, we are successfully moored to the station.
Good to hear. Send updates to my ready room. Commander Rydek, with me.
Yeah, I did disobey a direct order. Again. Even though I said orders.
You disobeyed my orders.
Mm-hmm.
Well?
Respectfully, Captain, I made the right choice given the information I had.
You disobeyed my orders.
You didn't have any information.
Just in front of the bridge crew, but the Starbase staff as well. That's going to get around. My name's already tarnished around the fleet, but what is it going to do to my credibility on this ship? From the top to the bottom, bridge to lower decks.
Maybe I shouldn't have disobeyed a direct order, but you were wrong. You weren't on board, and you didn't have all the information. So I made the right decision for the ship. If you're worried about your credibility, put your ego aside and trust your crew. Trust me.
You might have won some fans on the bridge with that stunt, but not everyone. Lieutenant Commander Chovak has already bent my ear.
I'm sure he doesn't take it personally. He'll get over it in time.
Mr. Chovak is more complicated than he would want to admit. I guess we all are.
Different lighting.
And, if I'm being honest, I'm not sure what I would have done in the moment either. You never really know if you weren't in those shoes. So, let's just boil it down to you did what you had to. That'll have to be good enough for me.
You placed a lot of trust in me, bringing me here. I feel like I've let you down.
I brought you here for a reason. I'm still sure it was the right one. Despite it all, we got our final Starfleet clearance to depart. So if you'll fetch Mr. Ermot, we'll knock out the final details of any outstanding repairs, then we'll set out for Hotari.
Yes, sir.
Still don't trust this guy. Yeah, it seems like he's hot-headed on his decision-making. That's definitely what I'm getting. I have medical stuff over before you. Yeah, that's how things are. All I ask is a tall ship. I mean, it's kind of get the spray. Again.
All departments reporting full mission readiness. We've got our full complement on board.
This is my favorite moment, right now.
The start of a new mission is always full of possibility.
The Orion Syndicate could sell it as a drug.
Don't let the Admiralty hear you say that.
Captain on the bridge.
Sit. Sit, everyone.
The blue guy just sit so much before, so much quicker before he actually said sit.
Speeches. We're embarking on the first mission since our refit. Let's make it a good one. Disengage docking clamps.
Oh, they're repair the docking clamps before the ship. Okay.
Docking clamps released.
Thrusters ahead, Mr. Handar.
He's obsessed with his perception on the ship, meaning he'll make decisions based on what makes him look. Yeah. Jara said herself, he needs to put his ego aside and trust the crew. Yep, agreed. Which is kind of what I've been doing. Part of the ship, part of the crew.
That should do it. Set a course for the Hotari system. Prepare to go to Warp 8.
Aye, Captain.
You know what? You take this one.
Me?
Alright.
Engage.
Engage. Power. Intoxicating. Euphoric power.
Simple, but effective.
Lock on the chair.
Whoa. Careful.
Thank you. I'm fine. Really,
You don't look fine.
Did you just call her ugly? You know, for having such a crippling handicap, you'd think you'd have,
I have to get to sickbay.
Go.
something to like emergency insulin, you know?
Commander, help me get her
Oh
inside.
my gosh. Come on, really? Just EpiPen that bad boy. All right, you need a full-on Hulk wristband to EpiPen your face.
Quite a scare. A few minutes more and it would have been one of the shortest tenures on record for a first officer.
Is that the engineer that was out on the hull?
That storm did a real number on her, but she'll live. Just needs rest. You should worry about yourself. Your duridium levels got dangerously low and destabilized your cell structure.
This is definitely one of the more memorable first days I can think of.
My name is Dr. Aram Duval, Chief Medical Officer. To be honest, I've never met a Kobliad before. You're...
rare. I know.
I was going to say special. Your people's numbers have dwindled, despite the Federation's efforts to find a more readily available alternative to the duridium you need to survive. Yet you joined Starfleet and managed to thrive. I imagine the responsibility must be overwhelming. Maybe even a burden at times.
Yeah.
It does make me unique, but it's not a burden at all. I'm honored to be Kobliad, to represent my people.
As you should be. And don't worry, I won't treat you like a science experiment. I just do the science and leave the experiments to Solano.
You don't agree with his methods?
I don't agree with his definition of acceptable risks. Not when the lives of your crew are at stake. My professional opinion is that the accident took a toll. More than he's willing to admit. He's overstressed, operating in the pressure cooker of his own mind. Which is never a good headspace when the lives of your crew are at stake. What concerns me is that now he's even further away from the thing he's been chasing his entire career. The breakthrough discovery. The major innovation. Something he can put his name on. But the more the time passes and the further out of reach it gets, the more risk he'll be willing to take. People become blinded by their own ambition.
I hear you. But that's my job, isn't it? To make sure that doesn't happen. And we don't lose sight of the bigger picture.
Which is exactly why I'm so glad you're here. We need you now more than ever. And I have to give you credit for what happened on the bridge. It took guts to defy a direct order.
Huh. I guess word travels fast around here.
It's a small ship. And everyone's curious about the new XO. Fortunately, your cell structure's almost completely stabilized. And I'll spare us both the lecture, but I do feel it's my responsibility to remind you, without regular infusions of duridium, you will not live. It's as simple as that.
Understood.
Then, my work here is done.
The timetable has me concerned.
Sorry, I didn't mean to be lurking outside of sickbay. I didn't want to intrude, so it felt more appropriate to wait out here.
What is it,
We were
Mr.
all
Chin?
worried about you. Or I should say I was. I wasn't sure what was happening at first. But then I realized it was your condition.
I don't want anyone to worry about me. I'm gonna be just fine. This is part of who I am, but I've never let it define me.
I get that now. And I promise I'll try not to let being such a jerk define me either. You trusted my intuition earlier, with the deflector pulse. I felt I should thank you for that.
Well, thank you for coming. Even though you didn't have to.
I wanted to.
That's basically what it is. She's got space diabetes. Space diabetes.
Complete the diagnostic
See some Gatorade stats.
Yes, sir.
The storm in the Hotari region will interfere with our transporters. So we need all available shuttlecraft in working order.
You can't tell me that all this advanced technology society doesn't have an automatic injection port that she can attach to her skin. Yeah, I was kind of thinking the same thing. Or maybe like a, I don't know, like I said, like an EpiPen or something. Just
Petty Officer Maris, to your work.
It's something, anything. And the fact that it... Okay, hold on a second. So how long do you think that she was in command for when she originally checked and she was at, what, 98%? So is it stress that really just depletes her diabetes batteries, or is it like just time? Because for her to fall unconscious in that short amount of time, no, she needs to have like, I don't know, kind of. I'm trying to think of like the movie that is, but like they were like tethered to just something on the ceiling and walking around. It was still following them. That's kind of how it is with her. I guess I should probably at one point figure out what's going on with all these, but whatever. It's too much reading.
I stopped by sickbay and saw Nilly. I figured you'd want to know.
Did the doc get her fixed up?
She's stable, but there's something about the storm's radiation that's making it hard to feel the energy burns.
That doesn't sound good.
She's toughing it out. Dr. Duvall said she'll be back on duty soon, though.
Come on. I have to run the final diagnostic.
I can't stay long. I've got a long to-do list before we get to Hotari, and things are piling on faster than I can check them off. We're making all our last-minute checks in security, too. Tactical and security are short-staffed.
Well, nothing's ever 100%, but we'll be good to go.
And if you wait until you are ready, it's probably too late. Which is why I didn't want to wait for just the right time. I had a chance to think about this while I was away. Then you and Nilly almost got killed out on the hull. And I thought it was important that I just come out and tell you. Instead of tiptoeing around it. Or worse.
Miranda, is everything all right?
Yeah, I'm fine.
I don't like her skin texture.
Maybe even better than fine.
I really don't like her skin
What I'm
texture.
trying to say is, we've been really good friends for a long time. But I got back here and I couldn't ignore it anymore. I want to see if there's more between us than just being friends.
Let's do it! Let's do it! Oh, wrong button.
Are you sure about this?
They're my feelings. Of course I'm sure. I know what I'm asking, which is why I'm being direct. I like you, Carter. And I think there could be something more for us. So, what do you say?
Do it!
I like you too, Miranda.
Do it! Take it!
I'd like to see
Take it!
where this goes.
Good.
It's not the freckles.
These are
It's just the general complexion. Hold on.
I'd call it a chemistry experiment. You know, with us.
Inquiring minds are gonna want to know about this, so... Do you tell Nilly, or do I?
I wouldn't worry about that.
Level 1 diagnostic complete.
I have to get back to that to-do list. They're probably looking for me.
Can't blame them.
I'll be seeing you.
Score-ish? You still haven't even reached first base. You haven't even gone up the bat. Cast adrift. Okay, so, chat. I don't know. We don't know anything about how beryllium and cobalts work. Cobalts. She's a cobalt now. Cobalts work. Maybe there's something preventing her to have that. Yeah, maybe. I think it's a bit of both. Time and stress, also a little more dramatic, and she faints. Yeah. I would imagine it's not like insulin, where the body consumes it, but stress can intense situation. Yeah, that's true. Maybe the D is too complex because I'm having difficulty. Duradium, too complex, contains a little hypospray. Arm, leg. Don't know. Don't get into the details of it. Okay. Yeah, she's a cobalt. Half cobalt.
approaching the rendezvous
half mountain
point outside
giant,
Atari
so
space.
it's halved.
Bring us out of warp.
Dropping to impulse.
That's impulsive. Oh, that's...
Ionic interference surging, Captain.
Shield integrity holding. We can take it.
We are at the correct coordinates to meet the shuttle.
Commander Rydek, find us our diplomat, if you will.
Aye, Captain. Let's reduce the noise. Filter out environmental signals. I can manually tune what's left for Federation signal types. I've located the shuttle.
Opening comms.
On screen.
Shuttle to Resolute.
Bonk.
Shuttle to Resolute. Debris field. Lost maneuvering. Losing.
I can't get it any clearer.
We won't get a transporter lock. It's just not happening.
Power up the tractor beam. We'll pull them directly into the docking bay.
Diaz, you good to run the tractor emitter?
Yes, sir.
Excelsior.
Come on, Diaz. First thing, lock onto the shuttle and stabilize the rotation.
All right. Boink.
We're pulling in debris.
I'm on it.
Go downies. Downies. No. Get out of my way of the shovel. There we go. There we go. I had a moment. Exclamation points. Oh no.
That's gonna
The
take
cutscene. It's
the
it's
bridge.
too much.
There's a large piece of debris headed for the shuttle. The tractor beam can't handle it.
Can our shields take it?
I believe so.
Commander Rydek, plot an intercept course.
On it.
To what? I don't know what I'm doing. This is not telling me anything.
Thrusters bearing 53 Mark 17, 200 meters on an intercept course.
Maneuvering.
Got it.
Whoa! Someone's working hard on the bridge.
Okay, I'm doing it again. Okay, now what?
We got the shuttlecraft on board.
Good job. We're on our way down to meet them.
Ex-girlfriend?
Terra firma, so to speak.
Ambassador Spock. The captain will be right down to meet you, sir.
In that case, I will wait for him here.
Nice. Awkward.
let me be the first to say, welcome to the Resolute, Ambassador.
Thank you, Petty Officer...
Carter? Carter Diaz. Sir.
I am pleased to meet you, Petty Officer Carter Diaz. It appears I have you to thank for my safe arrival. Your assistance arrived not a moment too soon, if I may say so.
You're very welcome, sir. I'm glad we could get you here in one piece.
Indeed.
Yes.
We thought we were prepared for our arrival in Hotari space, but it is evident my craft was not sufficiently robust for such intense ionic activity.
The storm has been pretty intense.
There was an element that was most unusual. Before you came to our aid, our maneuvering thrusters and impulse engines were rendered inoperable. So we attempted a short traversal at warp speed, only to find that we could not achieve warp at all, even though our diagnostics computer showed no faults or anomalies. What do you make of that? When all indications say that warp speed is possible, but in practice, we find it is not.
I mean...
I'd rather investigate than speculate.
A sound principle.
Yeah, that sounds
Take
reasonable to me.
readings, run some additional diagnostic checks, and we'll get to the bottom of this.
Quite logical, Petty Officer Diaz. Thank you.
Ambassador Spock.
Excuse me.
I'm honored to have you aboard. I'd like to get right to it. We're already behind.
Lower budget game, so don't expect AAA production value. Star Trek itself, just kind of low budget, janky show. Go with it. You got it, John. Ex-girlfriend. Yep, ex-girlfriend. Well, it did have a lady on the intercom, so
My senior staff.
they don't look old to me.
It's not every day that a captain gets to welcome a Starfleet legend aboard.
You flatter me, Captain Solano. But legend implies the past tense, whereas I am very much focused on our present circumstances.
I didn't mean to suggest you were stuck in the past. You're right, Ambassador. Not the most diplomatic choice of words.
Your experience comes from the past. But
Oh,
our
that's
present
definitely not
situation
the-
calls for it.
True enough.
We were hoping you could fill us in on the details. We got the basics from Starfleet. Two formerly peaceful neighbors are now on the brink of war.
Indeed.
Oh yeah, I forgot about
The
that.
tension between them grows fiercer by the hour. Lydia and Hotari.
Legend implies past tense. I'm still a boss.
The Lydians are the more advanced species. They made first contact with the Hotari over a century ago. This is Tau, the Hotari moon. It is rich in dilithium, and for decades, the Hotari and the Illydians have shared a mining operation there. The Illydians provide the technological resources, while the Hotari have served as the labor force. The stability of that arrangement was the source of their peace, until recently. The Hotari have suddenly and forcefully seized control of the mining operations and expelled the Illydians from their system. That is the official story, as told by the Hotari when they requested Federation mediation. But the details remain scant. Communications between all parties have been limited by the ionic interference.
Details. Need information.
How is it the Hotari were able to turn the tables and take the mines against superior forces, especially after decades in this arrangement?
Unclear. The answer to that question may be the key to a new, lasting peace, and one that I hope we can uncover during these negotiations. But it is unlikely the relatively primitive Hotari forces would stand a chance against the Illydian fleet if this escalates to open war. Left unchecked, This conflict will result in more bloodshed, which is what we are here to prevent.
And the dilithium trade hangs in the balance.
Clearly, the Hotari have been exploited in this relationship.
Maybe we can persuade them peace is the more profitable alternative for everyone. They both profited from the mines. And for the Hotari, something is better than nothing. Peace is our objective, after all.
That is correct.
I mean, currently there's no information on either of them.
Convince them, it would restore the peace. But we would need the Hotari to accept a difficult compromise.
Made all the more difficult by the emotions flaring on both sides, no doubt.
Neither the Elydians or the Hotari are members of the Federation, so we can't make them do anything.
There is an additional complicating factor I should mention. In the past, the Federation has relied on the Elydians as a source of dilithium.
Pew pew! It's gonna make a
changes things.
A laser pew.
The Federation sources its dilithium from a lot of places.
Yeah, and this is one of them.
So we've already played a part in this.
Unfortunately, that is indeed the case, Commander Rydek.
We're morally obligated to make this right.
Hold on. Our only obligation is to negotiate the peaceful resolution of this conflict.
Given the Federation's involvement in the Elydium dilithium trade, Captain Solano and I must make every effort to appear neutral in these negotiations.
What worries me is if this whole thing unravels, and we're at the mercy of the storm at less than full strength.
We can't let it come to that.
Considering what the ion storm has done to our ship, and the Ambassador's shuttle, we have to assume the Elydian fleet has had problems with it as well. This recent surge in the energy disturbance temporarily levels the playing field.
Commander Westbrook is correct. The energy anomalies around the Hotari systems have been noted in the past. But they have never been observed on the orders of magnitude we have seen in recent weeks.
If it's keeping the two sides talking instead of shooting at each other, that actually helps us negotiate a peace.
And we'll take advantage of that as long as it works in our favor.
And when it doesn't?
All the more reason to learn as much about it as we can while we are here.
Agreed.
We do not want to be caught unprepared, should the energy anomaly continue to fluctuate. So I trust we understand our circumstances.
We're operating on a strict timetable here, and we're going to be leaving for the negotiations shortly. Commander Westbrook, I want you to leverage our systems to investigate the anomaly from here while we're gone.
Aye, Captain.
Thank you all.
Dismissed.
I want to speak to both of you privately.
Classic Trek storyline. Gotta mediate peace between two opposing species. This is the Trek stuff I love. Moral dilemmas, philosophical conflict, big ideas. Okay.
Ambassador Spock, I'd like to make a formal introduction. My first officer, Commander Jara Rydek.
Commander, as you are aware, there are limits to what Captain Solano and I can do in our official capacity as representatives of the Federation. But someone in an unofficial capacity, your first officer, for example, would not be bound by those restrictions. Commander Rydek could ingratiate herself to certain parties behind the scenes, where they may be more candid in revealing information that could lead to a resolution.
She certainly goes her own way. Maybe that helps in this case.
I'm perfectly happy to work outside the lines.
And by extension, you will be doing your duty, Commander.
Just not too far outside the lines. Well, I hope Commander Rydek will have more luck finding out what really happened than we will through official diplomatic channels.
The fate of the negotiations, the interests of the Federation, and the prospect for peace may very well depend on it.
I was wondering that, Bartos. Like, was that... No, I thought, Oh my gosh. Leonard Nimoy passed away beforehand. So, does this autosave? I want to assume so. I want to call it here, considering the timeline. Yeah. Definitely a sound job impersonating Leonard Nimoy's voice and bringing Spock into the story so far. I was kind of hoping for something a little bit more actiony, but this works too. This works too. It's definitely something. Nimoy passed away in 2015. Oh yeah, yeah. I kind of figured as much. I was kind of hoping for something a little bit more actiony, but when it comes to something different, this is definitely something different, and I really do appreciate this break because this is I'm gonna just be going with the flow mostly because soon I'm gonna be going back into Final Fantasy. But should I play something before Final Fantasy? I don't know. That's a question I'll ask later. That's a question I'll ask later. But that just about does it for this episode. If you enjoyed the content, like, subscribe, notifications, bell, comment. I don't know, thought, like, thumbs up, eat a cake, whatever Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, MySpace want you to do nowadays. Changes all the time, right? Check out my website, JPEdgar.com. Got my books, my blog, my merch, and my stream schedule. Just a reminder, my live stream and my libraries are all separate channels, and those links will be in the description. Thank you very much, everyone, for coming in, joining me along the way, making fun of me, because that's just what we do, right? I really do appreciate it. But like always, more ridiculous to come.